Okay, so you're ready to build something with AI, right? But where do you even begin? That's what this explainer is all about. We're going to cut right through all that noise and hand you a clear map and the keys to two of the most essential toolkits out there for anyone starting out, LangChain and LlamaIndex.
All right, let's just dive right in at the very beginning. Look, if you're new to this whole AI development scene, it can feel, well, pretty overwhelming. But you know, that feeling, it usually shows up right after a much, much better feeling.
I mean, you've seen those mind-blowing demos, right? You scrolled through the headlines, and then, boom, that little spark of inspiration hits you. You think, I've got to build something with this. It's an awesome feeling, for sure, but it almost always leads to one massive question.
And just like that, all that excitement can just, poof, turn into total analysis paralysis. You start wondering, okay, which framework do I learn? Which docs are the ones I really need to read? But hey, don't worry, we're going to clear all that fog away. Let's give you a super simple map to two key starting points.
Okay, first up on our journey is LangChain. And honestly, the best way to picture this thing is like a Swiss Army knife for your AI projects. It's just packed with all these different tools and functions that help your AI model actually connect to the outside world and, do stuff. And you know what the best part is? There's a totally clear and totally free path to get you going. Seriously. You just start with the official docs. That's your foundation for all the main ideas. Then you can jump over to their GitHub to see real, practical code examples. And if you're someone who likes a more structured course, they've got the LangChain Academy ready and waiting for you.
All right, next up, LlamaIndex. So if LangChain is that Swiss Army knife, I want you to think of LlamaIndex as your super smart, high-tech librarian. Its whole purpose in life is to connect your AI model to your own specific data. We're talking documents, databases, APIs, you name it.
And guess what? You'll see a pretty similar learning path here. The docs and the GitHub repo, those are your bread and butter, your foundation. But, and this is a big one, their blog is a total hidden gem. It's amazing for getting past the how and really digging into the why, with these fantastic walkthroughs of actual real-world use cases.
Okay, so now you've got two super powerful toolkits, right? The multi-tool and the data specialist. So, how do you know which one to reach for when you're starting a project? Well, it actually boils down to a really simple distinction. Is it about action or is it about data? Here's how to think about it. When you want your AI to do a series of things, I'm talking like search the web, then analyze what it finds, and then draft an email based on that, that's a job for LangChain. It's all about building these, chains of logic and giving your AI tools it can actually use.
Now, LlamaIndex, on the other hand, is the expert in what your model knows. So if your goal is to build, say, a chatbot that can answer questions using your company's private documents, LlamaIndex is absolutely the tool you want. It's a specialist in this thing called retrieval augmented generation, or RAG. And look, that sounds complicated, but it's just a fancy term for a simple idea. It finds the perfect little piece of your data and hands it to the AI at the exact moment it needs it to give a great answer.
So let's just put them side by side for a second. LangChain? It's got that broad focus on action. Think agents, complex steps, using tools. LlamaIndex? It's laser-focused on knowledge, connecting your data to the model. To put it even simpler, one is about doing, the other is about knowing. But what happens when you need your app to do both?
And that question right there leads us to probably the most important point of this whole explainer. Because this isn't an either-or situation. It's a classic beginner mistake to think you have to choose one over the other. No way. The real power, the magic, is unlocked when you make them work together. When you look at the most powerful AI apps out there, they almost always combine the strengths of both of these frameworks. They don't just act, and they don't just know. They know in order to act. And that, right there, is the secret sauce. You get that super specific knowledge from LlamaIndex, and then you use LangChain to go and do something powerful with it. Let's break it down into a super simple 3-step workflow so you can see what this looks like. Step 1, you use LlamaIndex to pull in and organize all your unique data. Step 2, a user asks a question and LlamaIndex zips through everything to find the single most relevant piece of info. And then Step 3, that golden nugget of information gets handed off to LangChain, which then builds out the logic and performs an action. See? LlamaIndex finds the what, LangChain handles the how.
And that's basically it. You've got the map, you understand the core difference between these two, and most importantly, you see how they're not competitors, they're partners.
The path from that initial spark of an idea to your very first working app is suddenly a whole lot clearer. So, really, there's only one question left to ask. What are you going to build first?